Hey guys, in today's video, I am going to turn this $5 chipboard picture frame into a beautiful piece of art. So stay tuned. Okay, so my plan is to make a geode style picture frame. So I want to make some barriers, and I'm going to use my epoxy sculpt to make that. Epoxy sculpt is a clay that has epoxy in it, so it works just like any other epoxy resin. You take this and this in the same amount and you mix them together, and then it forms a clay. You put it where you want it as far as like design or shapes, whatever you want to do with it, and it gets hard. Okay, so in order to ensure that I have the same amount of each one, what I do is I use my scale. This is not necessary. You can eyeball it and it will work fine. But me, I'm anal when it comes to stuff like that. So I like to be as precise as I can. Now, when using this stuff, remember, it's just like resin. So what would happen if you took a spoon and scooped out some part A of resin and put it in a cup, and then used that same spoon and scooped out some hardener and put it in the cup? It would cross-contaminate and it would cause problems with your resin. So this should be handled the same. So what I'll do is part A, I'll grab out a wad. Okay, I will measure it. So it's 0.81 of an ounce. Now I'll take it and put it to the side, which of course I don't have anywhere to put it, so I'm just going to lay it on my table. Now I'll put my cup there, and then with the other end of the spoon, I will scoop out part B, or if I have a hard time, I will use my hand that did not touch anything and get it out. Sometimes for me this could be tricky because I have issues with my hand, and it can be challenging to get out of the container. So you're going to get out the correct amount. You're going to mix them in your hand just like a ball of dough. You're going to knead it in your hand, in between your fingers, or with your fingers, I should say. And once it's fluctuating between 81 and 85, usually that means it's pretty dead on. Once it turns to one solid color, it's mixed. And then what I do is I let it sit for like 5 minutes so that it starts getting tacky. So I'm going to mix this together. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done. And then I'm going to show you how I roll it out. So I've been mixing. I want to just show you. See how there's 2 different shades still? So that is not done yet. Okay, so now I have one even color. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set it to the side in a cup. And I'm going to come on over here to my frame. I'm going to turn it around the way that you would look at it. And I'm going to sketch out with a pencil just what I want to do. So I'm looking at this and I kind of see like the stones coming out of the frame. So I'm going to go with this is where my barriers, where I'm going to be putting the clay. So I'm going to have one come right here, and I could adjust this afterwards too if I don't like it. So like that, I do not like. So let's do, I want to do like a funky shape. So we're going to have them come all the way down here. Okay. Then, so now where are my colors going to be? What am I going to do over here? So this will be a color that will, this will be one area, another. So then I have to make this one come down and come out through over here to kind of like have them flow together. So we have this one. And then we'll probably do some smaller ones in between. This section comes here, so that means it's going to come over here also. I'm just showing you this to kind of show you my process of how I design something. Okay. All right. So now what I need to do is take little pieces of this, just rip it off and roll it. Actually, I should probably get a piece of wax paper to do this on to make my life a little easier. Now it does, the directions do say to wear gloves when you use this stuff. I find that at certain stages, it really sticks to the gloves, and then at some stages it sticks to my hands. So I can't tell you which way to do it. They want you to wear the gloves because it does have epoxy in it. But I don't know. I'm not going to wear them right now. Let's see how it goes. So you just want to roll out like snake shapes on a piece of wax paper. Try to get them pretty uniform. You don't want them too big. I tried doing this in my hands without the wax paper, and they just do not come out even. Okay, so then you're going to take the piece that you just created, and you're going to shape it right on your board where you drew your lines. Pressing it down, it will stick eventually. It's not going to stick right away. Just kind of lay it there. And now what I will do is really create my shapes. Okay. What will happen though is it will adhere to this board. It'll eventually get tacky enough. That's why I say let it sit for a few minutes. So now you'll have a nice little barrier. So what I'm going to do is the rest of my barriers, and then I will come back. Now, I forgot to mention, this stuff, you can paint it. You can use something to make texture in it. I showed it in another video. Well, here, I'll show you even with this. Something as simple as a little gemstone. You could literally push into this and create texture in it. And then when you paint it, it looks really cool. I have some other videos that I did it in, the black geode that I did, black and gold, and then also the geode in a 10-inch, 10 by 10 box. I used it in both of those. It came out beautiful. Actually, I have one right here. I can show you the black geode. You see how nice that texture looks? So that's just an idea for you. You don't have to do it. You could just leave it plain. So I'm going to do this and I will be back. Okay, so I have my frame all bordered up. As you can see, I totally didn't follow the design that I created, but it looks good. I just want to show you, before I do the next step, some paints I found at Michael's that I'm going to be using in this project. They are made by Flake. Glitterific. I want you to really look at these colors. So they are acrylic paint, but they have clear as a base versus a color. So it's technically all glitter in there. Well, not technically all glitter. All you're going to see is the glitter. Look at these colors. That one is... trying to see the colors here. Of course, I can't read. I don't know. It does. I can't. I don't even see it that it says it anywhere. Very pretty. All right. Then they have red. I'll show you the top too. A blue. Oh, they are just gorgeous. This one is my favorite. The greenish. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I don't know if I showed you the... I don't think I showed you the purple yet. And then they have a silver. Very festive. Festive. I was thinking of festive and fiesta. 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 Very festive. And then a black. Lordy, lordy. I can't get my words right today. Bless me on the forehead. All right, hold on a second. Let me set up here. Okay, so first thing you have to do is tape off your piece. And I want to apologize about something. I said this was chipboard. It is not chipboard. It's actually MDF board. And I had found this at Michael's. It was $4.99. I didn't know they sold MDF at Michael's, but I guess they do. So anyway, you have to remove the back. Now there is a metal hardware here that you can remove if you want to. I just taped over it. I'm going to be extremely careful. Plus you have the other little metal pieces here that hold the backing on. So I just taped over everything. When it comes to the edges here, I'm going to try to be extremely careful because you do not want resin to get on the inside here, because then you're going to have a hard time putting your piece of glass back in there. So I'm going to hopefully be extremely careful. If for some reason it does get down in there, I'll have to keep wiping it to keep it clear. Anyway, I wanted to mention a brilliant thing to do that I saw on my friend's YouTube channel. She's just starting out, brand new. So I'm going to give her a shout out again. It's Lisa Wyatt Art, and I will link her channel below. But she came up with this brilliant idea, and I don't know why I have never thought of it. So when we tape our backs, we use all this tape. What she did was she used a piece of wax paper, covered this area, and then just taped around it. So in essence, you save all of this tape. And I just don't know why I never thought about that. But I thought it was a really cool thing, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I've done that. So now I need to design or add my colors and paint my borders. So I want to go with like fantasy mermaid peacocky kind of thing. So I'm thinking blues, greens, and purples. So I'm going to get some acrylic. What I did was I pulled out a bunch of colors, bunch of Resin Art colors, and Lisa, the lady I just mentioned, she sent me some samples from KolorTek that are really pretty. So I need to get some matching acrylic paints just to kind of plan where I'm going to put which colored resin. So I'm going to pull out my paints. I know I want purple, green, and blue, but I don't know what shades. So the shades of acrylic is not so important at this point. If I put a light purple here and decide to go with a darker purple or vice versa, it will be totally fine. It will be covered. But I just need to pull out those 3 shades to try to kind of plan what I want to do. So I'm going to do that first, and I will be right back. Okay, so the 3 I pulled out, very basic. I have an Artist Loft metallic phthalo green, Liquitex Prism Violet, and Liquitex Cerulean Blue Hue. So what I'm going to do now is just take some acrylic paint and paint in these areas. I know I want the green to be in this area, so I'm just going to grab a paintbrush. And I'm not going to make you watch all of this. I'm just going to do the first area. Now, actually, by rights, I need to do my borders first, but I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do because I don't want you to have to watch the whole thing. So in these areas, I'm going to paint them the color that I'm going to be using with resin. So in this area, I'm going to have to go with a lighter blue or green resin, okay? So that's what I will be doing with all the different areas. Very basic, simple to understand. And now for my borders, I need to figure out what I'm going to do because I'm going to use this glitter paint. But remember, the base of this glitter paint is clear, so you may see this through. So I'm thinking I'm going to paint these black to make this really pop. All right, so the first thing I would have to do is get my black. And just paint over them. Cover the entire thing. Make sure you go along the sides on both sides. Get right down to the board. Don't worry if you get paint on the board. Actually do this first before you do this first. Before you do that, I mean, because you're going to get paint on your board no matter how careful you are. And this way you could be more relaxed about it and really not give a crap. You know, just paint around and cover them up, okay? So now, once that's dry, which I'm going to do really quick for you. Once that's dry, you're going to come back in with your glitter paint. And you're going to go right over the top of it. Just like so. Okay? So it's going to really, you know, if you do one coat, it's going to be sparkly. If you do 2 coats of this, I'm sure that it will really pop. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill in all my areas, painting, you know, what I want to do where. And then I'm going to do all the borders, and I'm going to do 2 layers of this. So when I come back, you will be able to see what it looks like with 2 layers of that glitter paint on there. Okay, so I have my frame all painted. I just did it quick. It doesn't need to be perfect because you're going to be pouring resin over it anyway. Now I have a ton of colors I'm going to be using, so, or I may be using, I'm not sure which ones I'm mixing up yet. So I'm not going to be showing the colors to you because I can't tell you what I'm even using yet. So it's got to come to me. So what I did was I mixed up 8 ounces of resin and I put it to the side. I got some master cast resin to try out, but I didn't realize it only has a 30-minute working time, and I don't like being rushed like that, so I probably won't be buying that again. But yeah, so Stone Coat, I don't care what anybody says, you can't beat Stone Coat. It's just the working time. It's got all the properties that you want and like. And I'm good with it. I like to not be rushed when it comes to stuff like this. So the first one I'm mixing up here is Aquamarine by Resin Art. So their colorants, the directions are 1/8 of an ounce, or I'm sorry, 1/8 of a teaspoon per ounce of resin. I would say 1/8 of an ounce is maybe the size of a nickel flattened out. It's not a lot. Maybe a quarter teaspoon. Well, no. 1/8 of a teaspoon. I keep saying ounce. 1/8 of a teaspoon. It's relatively a small amount. Here's what I'll tell you to do. Add a little tiny blueberry size into your resin and keep adding it until you get to a color that you like. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to, you'll notice I removed the tape. I'm going to pour this in up along this barrier. This is a beautiful color. Resin Art has some beautiful colors. Technically, the company is KolorTek. The line of products for resin are called Resin Art colors. You know, I'll link her website below. She always has good deals too, $30 off 80. The kind of deals us art addicts can't pass up. Come on. Hate when there's like one little drip. Also, for anybody that is got that master cast resin and is going to be new at using it, be careful when you're pouring it out to measure it, because the jug does this weird thing up in the handle. There's a little handle. I'll show you the jug in a second. It like seems like it's not going to come out, and then all of a sudden it comes flying out. So I didn't like that either. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm a Stone Coat girl. All right, so I got that there. Remember, I have to keep wiping. Once I'm done, I'm going to come in here and keep wiping that inner part off because I don't want there to be anything blocking my picture from going in. And I'm going to add some up here. And it's okay if it goes down the sides. I'm going to coat those anyway. I always fight with myself over design when it comes to geodes. Do I keep it a solid color and just add some stones? Do I try to blend? So today I think I might try to blend some colors. We're having a horrible windstorm here. Okay. Now that's pretty boring to watch. All right, so next with that color, I think I'm going to come in with some of this Art Alchemy acrylic paint. It's got a little bit of a bluish tinge to it. Blue-green tinge. And it's kind of hard to know how much you need, so what I do is I just separate whatever resin I mixed up into 5 smaller cups, and then I start pouring them into smaller amounts like this. Now acrylic paint, you want to be careful, no more than 10%, because it'll get really gummy and marshmallowy on you. Now, if you're going to use it though right away, like me, I don't feel that the measurements matter. Because it's coming right out of the cup. Just put a little bit there. Okay. Someone was complaining my videos are too long the other day. And then I had another person, now this video they were commenting on was from when I first started and had no clue how to edit clips together. So it was a big project, and it was a 5-part series because it was a big geode. And they were complaining every next clip that, you know, part 1, they said, oh, can't wait to see part 2. And then part 2, oh, it's not done. And then part 3, oh my God, there's another part. And they bitched through every single, it was a 5-part video. So 5 times. On the 4th video, she said, oh my God, another part. I could only assume it failed. And instead of being a wise ass and saying what I wanted to, I just deleted her comment and got rid of her. But I should have shoved it in her face because that one turned out beautiful. I'm just tired of dealing with it. I'm just going to start cutting people off. That's it. If you don't know how to be nice and talk civil to people and not be absolutely rude. I see so many rude comments on people. See, for me, I'll just cut them off. I don't care. But I see some like newer channels or even channels that have been around for a while. And, you know, they put up with these people and they don't have to. Nobody needs to be needs to deal with people treating them like that when they're trying to help. I'll tell you something, I guarantee you she wouldn't talk to me like that if she was face to face with me. But anyway, that's my little rant for today. In the end, we're just trying to have a good time and share some things. That's all. You know, it's definitely not a cash cow for me. It's having a YouTube channel is like owning a boat for me. It's tossing money in the water. So now I'm mixing up some of the mermaid Resin Art color. This color is beautiful. I love this color. It's a nice blue, like a royal blue, but then it's got a low light of green in it. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to use that one right here, obviously, in the blue. In the blue. So yeah, the whole reason why I brought up that comment was because I really want to, oh my God, did I just drag the cup? Nope. I really want to learn how to edit videos the right way. Yeah, I know how to clip a couple of clips together and put in some basic writing, but I really want to learn how to do music and all that. I just can't seem to find the time to sit down between this and life and watching my 2-year-old grandson. You know? All right, so now I have some of this, a lot of this left. See, now I made too much of this color. So I guess what I'm going to do is just fill it all in and then go in with another color. Try to blend them. Because even like, you know, I'd like to talk to you guys, and then some parts like this where it's boring. Fast forward with a little bit of music. But then again, this is the part of the video where it's boring, where I get to talk and just be personal. All right, that's it for that one. So in with that, I think I'm going to combine, let's see, what can we get into here? Let's do the Azure Mist. So I don't need a lot of this. I think I may have made too much resin to begin with. So I have an ounce of resin in there. That's how much I'm going to add. Let's see if it's enough. Yeah, it sure does look it. You can't see through to the stick. Now the only thing is though, this is very similar. Well, let's see. Oh no, it's not. Okay, we'll go with it. Okay. Use it up here. Might as well. Just kind of zigzagging it through. All right, and then the purple section. Then there was the purple section. So for the purple section, I'm going to start off with Twilight Orchid. Oh yeah, this is a gorgeous color. They mix in so easily too. The regular Resin Art colors for resin. The tints I have a little more of a problem with, but these, they mix in like a dream. The tints, you really have to mix them well. I see I have a little bit of seepage through my borders. I must not have pushed them down hard enough. I was worried I was going to destroy the shape. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is a gorgeous color. All right. I think I need more of that. That is gorgeous. Just take your time and be careful, you know, with getting in your corners and stuff. That's why it's nice to have the longer working resin. Yeah, I'm going to mix up some more of that. That is a beautiful color. Now don't forget, you have to use a clean stick to get your color out. I'm going to put that to the side. These Resin Art colors also, they don't seem to puff up in the air like regular mica powders. I know Leslie always says they're not typical. They're not mica powders. They're some kind of a metal system they got going on there. I don't know the exact details, but she has a channel too. Color Art. Leslie Ohnstad. Tell you one thing, that woman can make some colors. She's got some unique ones. I'm really just filling this in with this purple because it is gorgeous. Yeah, I got a couple of areas where my color's seeping through here, I see. All right, so now I just need to find a color to go with that. Lisa Wyatt, who also started her own channel. I know I mentioned her before. I keep mentioning her. I just love her to death. Sent me these pigments. This one looks pretty close to that one, so I'm going to use it. Let's see. Just a small sample of it. I really need to get this color. It is gorgeous. I'm wondering if it's very close to the one I just used. She got this color from a company, I believe, called KolorTek. Oh, it's a lot darker, I think. And it looks like a black that has purple and blue. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can see the difference. Perfect. See if I can show you this. I don't know where I am on the camera there, but hopefully you guys saw it. So I'm going to go right down the center of that too. And some in here, there, and everywhere. I was going to use the PBO paint, but I don't think I want to now. I think this is good. So what I do is, the way I like to do it is I like to do the colors first and then come back and once it's cured, do the stones. That's just the way that I usually do my pieces. So now I'm going to get the heat gun and start moving some stuff around. Just want to lightly blend them. Boy, that really doesn't want to move over there, does it? Hotter than hell, but it doesn't want to move. It's kind of just like sitting there. It's weird. Very weird. Wow, I got some cool. Wow. I can't wait to show you that. That is freaking fantastic. All right, so this over here where I use the acrylic paint, it does not like that. That's what's going on here. It just doesn't want to move, and I don't want to tilt this because I have something freaking beautiful happening over here. See how stringy that is from the acrylic paint? Very stringy. So we're going to get this moved just like that. And then I'm going to add my glitter in there, but oh, sweet baby Jesus. I don't know if you could see the lines that are happening here. Let me get another pair of gloves on. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm going to put some glitter in there too. As for the stones and all that, that's done. After this cures, I'll do the second layer. But this purple, I don't know what it did. I really have to find out about that stuff. All right, so I have this glitter that I definitely want to use right now. This may be the only glitter I use at this point because I have a lot of glitter in it already. Plus I have to do the stones and so let's see here. We need a cup. And I'm going to dump in a ton of this glitter. I put a lot so that it's really thick and doesn't move a lot. And the good thing is because I put that acrylic paint in there, although it sucks, it's stopping the colors from running off because it doesn't want to move. So that's a good thing because I'm not losing my design. So my God, I don't even know if this needs, it's so beautiful. Like I don't even want to add anything. But that does add to the beautiness, the beautiness. Just a little here and there, you know. Yeah. So what I'm going to do before I'm here 3 hours with you is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to put this glitter around this blue area and the outer blue areas, and then I'll come back and show you what the first layer looks like. All right, so I'm done for this layer here, you guys. I just need you to look at the uniqueness of those two colors. I'm not going to have to do lines on this, I don't even think. Look at this. That is amazing. I absolutely, unequivocally, undeniably am in love with this already. I cannot wait to add the crystals. Oh my God. I could literally just stop now and it would be fine, but there's more to go. So stay tuned. Here comes part 2. Okay, guys, it's time for the next step. So what I did to save time was I placed my rocks down on here. They're not attached or anything. I just laid them out. But I wanted to give you a close-up of how this ended up curing. This, to me, is fantastic. It's very rare that I'm like 100% pleased with my work. And I am just over the moon about this one. What those two purples did together, and actually even like the acrylic with the Resin Art color, the blue area, I'm just like in love. So Now it's time for the last step. Oh, I'll show you too over here. I got one drip on the inside where the glass goes right here. So what I will have to do is just either heat it up and just slice it off with a razor knife, or I could probably sand it down, but it's not going to be a big deal at all. So next step I need to do is a clear coat, and I will be using Stone Coat Quick Coat, which is perfect for this type of covering, like last step, because it cures really, really quick. You only have 15 minutes to work with it. And since I just need to put it on the project, I don't have to worry about time. Within 4 hours, it will most likely be, you know, to a point where you can touch it. And it's really great stuff. So let me get you in the tripod and I will show you. So this is Quick Coat, and I will definitely be buying a gallon of this. It works the same way. Half of this and half of this, mix it up. You have approximately 15 minutes to do what you want to do with it. A lot of people use it for geodes. The most valuable advice I could give you if you're going to use colors with this is be prepared. Have your colors already in the cup before you mix this up. Do not leave it in a bucket if you're using a large amount, because within 5 minutes it will smoke. So you have to work, you know, pretty quick with it. I've seen people use this for geodes. I would advise you to be at least, you know, not a beginner. Have a little experience before you start using this for geodes. People do use it and it works fine, but you have to know like what you're doing. You have to have a plan and, you know, have everything prepared, like I said. This way, you have plenty of time to pour your colors out and do what you have to do. All right, so I've mixed up my Stone Coat Quick Coat, which, by the way, I now have a code for Stone Coat. So if you order from them, and there's a coupon code box on their site or a promotional code box, if you enter in the word Kitty 10, all caps, KITTY 10, you will receive $10 off of your $100 purchase. So this mixes up just like any of the other resins. Same thing. Now what I do with my stones is, if I have areas where, like right on the edge here, where if I put a stone, it's just going to roll off. What I'll do is I will leave that empty for now. And once this starts to set up and it's really, you know, not going anywhere, I will come back and plop the stones on top of it. This way I don't have to fuss with them too much. So I'm going to just take this now and start pouring it into its crevices. I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. What I think I'll do is I'll transfer it to a smaller cup so that I can control it better. If I could hold on to the cup. Always remember too, resin will spread out. So if you pour a line that's a 1/2 inch thick, it's going to spread out to at least 1 inch thick. So you can kind of use that to judge how much you need. Now this, I'm going to have to babysit the center here, because as I stated before, I don't want to fill up that, have that center have big drips in there like the one I already have. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do these areas, and I will be right back. Okay, so everybody's always asking about sides. When I'm doing my top coat, what I will do is I will take the little bit of resin that I have left over, which, by the way, this is a 12 by 12 and 6 ounces was plenty. So if you ever make a 12 by 12, know that 6 ounces of resin is plenty. So I'll take the clear and just go right along the edge like this. And then I'll come back with my stick. And swipe down those sides really good. First, you want to get all of this resin out of this cup, though, because we do not want it to start heating up. Okay, just going to put that to the side. Be very careful not to get it on my hands here. So just take your stick and go down the sides, coat them nice. And as far as air bubbles, I would come back every, if on normal resin that's not fast curing like this, every 15 minutes for the first hour. 45 minutes to an hour, I come back and wipe them down. Or, I'm sorry, pop the bubbles. This is a beautiful resin to work with for coating. You know, we're always anxious to pick up our art after it's done and look at it, show people. So within 4 or 5 hours, I should be able to show this off. That's what makes it perfect, especially if you have a YouTube channel too. Excuse my arm. Need to move that bag of rocks. Okay. And to cut down on drips on the bottom, you could always use your stick and keep going underneath there. I have tape and they come off pretty easy for me, so I don't worry about it too often. But you could always do that too. All right, so now we're going to torch. I'm going to keep an eye out for my rocks to add those back on. Gonna see if I can find out the name of that color from my friend, because that is beautiful. If I do find it out, I will link it below. All right, so the next view you will be getting is a done view. Here it is with the flash. I really, really wish you could see what this purple is doing. Let me see if I flash the flashlight on it, if it helps. No. In the light, it turns to a very red plum color. It is gorgeous, especially this area right here. But you're not seeing it. It's showing up lighter purple, but in my house, it is a deep plum color. This just came out fantastic. I am really in love with this one. Let me just stand it up here for you. I absolutely love it. So, there you have it. I look forward to buying some more of these and designing them and selling them. Oh, I gotta clean my glass. It's got smudges on it. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. So if you enjoyed it, just give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe? Click the bell to be notified of upcoming projects. And any questions or comments, leave them below. Hope you're all having a great night and happy pouring.